Hi guys, this is Kasha. Welcome to the channel, to the Wonderland. Today we have our coffee time with a top 5 because today it is top 5 Wednesdays. Today's topic was to choose basically a creature and make a top 5. So I was thinking, I love vampires and it is the October month, so it is a spooky month, and I have not really mentioned some of my old favorite vampire books in this channel yet. So I thought I would just take the creature of the vampire and let you know my top 5 recommendations. So when I was young, I believe I was allowed to watch Dracula by Coppola based on the Bram Stoker novel when I was still too young to comprehend. So what happened was that I was in a sleepover at my cousin's place and we wanted to make a girls' night and we wanted to watch a spooky movie, and we decided to watch Dracula by Coppola and we were allowed to. And after watching that movie, I remember my life changed. I became obsessed with vampires and blood to a new level, and I was like having dreams about vampires, and the best part was I was not even scared of those dreams where the vampires would come for me. I was like really enjoying them. So anyways, that's when it all started and my love for Dracula and for vampires started. And of course, with the years I read many other things and I watched many other movies, and as you can see, I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you're interested in this t-shirt, I just got it last weekend in England in an H&M. So if there is an H&M on your area, on your country, it might be that they have it, just for you to know. And we also have our little assistant for the day, which is this little Spike from Titans Figures. First of all, we have Salem Slot by Stephen King. I believe nobody's surprised by this because I am a huge Stephen King fan and I absolutely love this book. We follow the story of Ben Mears, and he hopes that going back to Jerusalem Slot and living this old creepy mansion is going to inspire him for his next books. If you don't know, Stephen King loves to include the character of a writer always in his books. I guess it's a way of incorporating himself into his books. So he just wants, to get rid of his own devils and to be able to find a good story for a book. But then things start to change when two kids from the town go into the woods, but only one of them comes out alive. And then our friend Ben realizes that this town is not what it seems to be and there is something fishy about it. So basically those evil forces that are in this little town are vampires, and they are trying to figure it out how to defeat them and find their lair so that they can defeat all the vampires in town. And I really enjoy this story. If you don't mind long books, because that's what Stephen King is known for, I would totally recommend this to you. And if you don't want to read a long-ass book, there is a movie adaptation of this because nearly all Stephen King books have been adapted, and I did enjoy this movie, so you can also give that one a try. Then I decided to include here a graphic novel, even though the graphic novel it is based on a book, and that is Anita Blake Vampire Hunter. So our friend Anita Blake, she is a zombie raiser, a vampire executioner slash slayer, and she also is a supernatural consultant for the police department. Man, she has the best jobs ever. The first novels are more focused on the crime solving and the action part of her life, and then later on the novels we also get to know a little bit more about her sexuality and love life. And then also in the last books we get to know more about her powers. And the reason why I chose the graphic novels instead of the regular books, it's because I enjoy them so much and I just wanted to bring a little bit of variety into this top 5. So I chose this one as a graphic novel because the art is also excellent. Then we have The Strain by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. Now, you probably have only been following me on my booktube channel, but I do have a second channel which actually was here before my booktube channel, and if you follow that one, which is just Kasha in Wonderland, and follow my videos there, you might have noticed that I have a slight smidgen obsession with Guillermo del Toro, which is totally justifiable because he's fantastic and his movies are a piece of art, and I'm just gonna stop talking about it because I could go on and on forever. Anyhow, I love the Strain books. It is a trilogy that he co-wrote with Chuck Hogan, and I absolutely adore the story. It's different, it's fresh, and it's violent and bloody. And the series adaptation, which is I think currently already in season 4, it is also fantastic. A Boeing 777 lands on the John F. Kennedy Airport, and suddenly the doors don't open, the lights go out, there is all communication cut with the outside, and our passengers don't know what's going on. There is the fear of a biological threat, so some doctors are being sent to investigate the area, but little do they know that this threat is bigger than they assumed at the beginning, and things escalate and it becomes a war between vampires and humans. And the vampires here are nothing like you've ever seen before. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody. Just read the books, they're fantastic. It's just a trilogy and it's totally worth it. In number 4 we have The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. Any book by Anne Rice, it's fantastic. All the books I've read by her are fantastic. And if somebody knows how to write about vampires, that's Anne Rice. The way she writes, it's just so beautiful, and you just get so connected with the characters and with the story. You're so invested, and I absolutely love it. Also, one of the best things about her books is that all the characters get kind of like a standalone book, but they also kind of cross each other in the books, and I just love that as well, that she was able to build up this world of the vampires, and I think the movies don't do it justice. I did like Interview with the Vampire, I did like Queen of the Damned, but you know, the books are just so much better. So if you maybe watch those movies and have not read the novels, just give them a try. Or if you're looking for a little bit more adult version of other vampire books, I totally recommend you to check Anne Rice. Just to tell you a little bit about the first book. The first book is called Interview with a Vampire, and it is called like that because it starts with an interview. And so this reporter is being called by a claimed to be vampire Lestat because he wants this reporter to tell his story. So basically we just start the book where the reporter goes to meet the vampire and he starts to tell them about their past life and all the events, and it's just fantastic. Like, the storytelling is wonderful and definitely something to read by fans of vampires that have not yet read Anne Rice. And last but definitely not least, we have the masterpiece Dracula by Bram Stoker. Dracula by Bram Stoker might be one of the most used stories for movies, series, theater plays, books, you name it. And the movie by Coppola, it's just such a piece of art. It's one of the best movies ever made, and I never get tired of watching it. And the story that Bram Stoker gave us, it's just fantastic. In this story we have Count Dracula, and he wants to move from Transylvania to England, so he hires Jonathan Harker, and you know, he wants for him to buy a property for him so that he can move. When Jonathan goes to Transylvania to meet with Count Dracula, things start to happen, really weird things, and he's a little bit confused about what's real and what's not. Also, on the other hand, we have Mina, which is his fiance, and Mina and her friend Lucy also experience really weird situations. I don't know if I want to explain more because I don't know if anybody has really not read this book, even though it's one of those classics that if you love like the supernatural, vampires, and all of those mythical creatures, I think nearly everybody has read it by now. Now, I'm aware this is a classic, so maybe a lot of people have read this book, but maybe also not, because we also have this fear about reading these chunks of classic books because we think we're not gonna get through them and they're gonna put us in a reading slump. So if you have this fear with Dracula, fear not, my friend, because from all the classics that I have read, this one is one of the easiest ones to understand and to follow, and it is so worth it. The story is fantastic, the characters are fantastic, and you will not regret it. Alright, so these were my 5 vampire read recommendations. I hope that you enjoyed them. Let me know down below which other vampire books you've read. Let me know down below which other vampire books you would recommend to me. Thank you all so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. All my other social media is listed down below for you guys, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!